Hello, 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 my beautiful rosebuds. It's your girl, Gypsy Rose DeVille, your sister from another mister and your favorite Capricorn. So today I wanted to discuss some tips, tricks, and strategies that could be used if you do make the decision to finally leave your narcissistic abusive relationship. Breakups are hard. All breakups are hard. But going through narcissistic abuse creates so many levels of trauma that you must overcome while dealing with the heartbreak. You know, it's literally an entire grieving process. You literally suffer from post-traumatic stress syndrome and Stockholm syndrome, and you have trauma bonds and codependencies that need to be broken, and you are guaranteed to be left with some form of betrayal trauma. So there is a lot to overcome in that journey. But breaking up with someone who is actually suffering from narcissistic personality disorder and is an actual narcissistic abuser, like maliciously, like the coverts, you really have to maneuver a little more cautiously because they are so maliciously deceitful and intentionally hurtful to the ones who love them the most. And sometimes it can even get dangerous. So I just want to give you some things that you could use in this journey if you do make this decision. And even if you are the one who was discarded, because pretty sure most people who are separated from their narcissistic abuser right now were actually discarded, because that's always their plan. That is their major agenda and the highlight of their life, believe it or not. Sad but true. You can use these things to just make your journey a little lighter. It is torture. The path that you are going to endure is torture. And because of that, most don't make it through this journey. They end up abruptly stopping some way before or midway and allowing their narcissistic abuser to coerce them right back into the same situation they are desperately hoping to break free from. But once you make a decision to choose you and actually decide to focus on you, it gets so much easier. Let's just discuss some of these strategies. And if you come up with a few on your own, please drop them in the comments. I love to learn. Literally turns me on to learn. So teach me. Each one teach one, each one reach one. So here we go. Number one, when you do finally decide to leave your narcissistic abusive relationship, do not say a word. Most of the time, due to a lot of the reactive abuse, we will say we're leaving, we will threaten, all day. So a narcissist is already not gonna take you seriously when you say that you're leaving them or that they have to go. Either way, they know in a couple days, they'll be back. So don't say anything. If you are firm in this decision, there's no need to discuss it anyway. Only share information with those who are needed to execute the plan, because narcissists are master sabotagers, and they have a collection of flying monkeys that help them in their journey of pushing forth the agenda to destroy you and sabotage you. They don't take news of being discarded very well anyway. So I'm pretty sure anything that they think to do to you next is out of revenge. So you already know, either way, there is nothing good gonna come from blurting out, I'm leaving. Just, if this is what you're gonna do, shut up about it. Narcissists don't like to be left behind. They have to be the one who discard you. That's that's always their agenda. From the beginning, they already know that eventually they're gonna throw you away. That's why they cheat, because they have to keep a backup plan. So they always have a plan to get rid of you eventually. Depending on how much of a supply you are for them will determine how long you stay around. Let's just put it out there. But even if they don't keep you for a long amount of time, they will always pop back up over time. Even if it's a couple years later, they'll still pop back up, get what they need, and pop back out. So keep in mind that they're not gonna let you just leave them, and they will definitely go out of their way to change your mind and breadcrumb, deflect, gaslight, love bomb, all of that to try to get you to stay, to convince you that you shouldn't leave them. And sometimes it can even go so far as them using intimidation tactics, and threatening you, especially if you have like kids together, going through a divorce, or you depend on them. They're going to threaten and intimidate, whatever they have to do to get their way. So that's why it's just best to shut up about it. And then when you do officially break up, keep that energy. Don't go sharing your business with them. They don't need to know your plans for the future. They don't need to know what opportunities you have going on right now. Keep your business to yourself, because even after the breakup, I don't care how cool they will pretend to be. They always have in the back of their mind how they're going to get back at you, because I can't stress enough that if you left them, they are mad at you and they are plotting revenge. I can't make it any more clear than that. So, number 2, you cannot do this alone. One more time. You cannot do this alone. All those people that you pushed away in your narcissistic abusive relationship, because it always happens, they always want you to themselves. And next thing you know, it's just them being the center of your world, and they still have their community of flying monkeys. And it's just you. So reconnect with those people. I promise you, if they are for you, if they are truly your loved ones, they miss you. They can't wait to hear from you. And expose your narcissistic abuser. Start breaking those trauma bonds and telling your community, your support system, why you're reconnecting and you need them. Tell them why you need them and how you need them, because it's not fair to just automatically assume everybody knows what we want and need. It is your responsibility to speak up, learn how to communicate your wants and needs in a healthy way that actually gets the point across and is received in a positive way. You need to open your mouth. Narcissistic abusive relationships last as long as they do because the victim does not speak up. We protect our abusers. 1, because we don't realize it's even abuse that we're suffering. And 2, it's called a trauma bond. It's a thing where you literally feel obligated. It is your responsibility to protect your abuser. You love them so much, you don't want anything to actually happen to them. That's why they don't suffer any consequences. You're not gonna call the police. And even if you have to call the police, you're not gonna push forth them actually having to take any charges. You're really gonna go out of your way to protect them. I can't tell you how many times I literally had to call the police, only for me to go and spend the last dime to go get his ass out that night. We protect our abusers, and we have protected them for so long that it's habit. And it's time to break that habit, break these trauma bonds. So start building your support system, explain to them exactly what is going on with you, and express just how much you need them. Break those trauma bonds and expose your narcissist. Let them know what you're going through, what you've been going through, and why you are in this situation right now. Why we are here. This is why. That's my favorite question. Why? I always have to know why. It's time for you to heal. And you can't do that if you're still holding on to stuff that you can't even speak out your face yet. Why are we still holding on to this baggage? Let's get this out. It's anytime something's polluted, you have to get that junk out. You got to clean it out. We're going to get that out your system. Break those bonds. Start exposing your narcissist. Build your community, your support system. And I can't stress enough that you definitely need to seek counseling, therapy. I am still in therapy. And it's the best thing I could have done for myself. And I told my therapist, she stuck with me, because a healing process is not an overnight thing. And even though you think you've handled this situation, there are 100 other situations that haven't even been addressed yet. You probably don't even know are an issue till you begin speaking. Once you start opening up, the floodgates open. And you will start finding yourself excited to start telling your testimony as you heal, as you start seeing your growth and your progress. Now you can't wait to tell people where you came from so that they can understand just how far you've come. So start this journey now, break those bonds, speak up to this community that you're building, because this is how you're going to build that community. You're going to go to these people who you know are for you, know love you, know support you. Now, don't go from toxic to toxic. If the people in your past were toxic, it's probably why you were already addicted to toxic. So if you don't have anybody in your world that you know is not with the nonsense, that you know has your back, supports you, they're not full of negativity, they actually want you to progress, they actually enjoy learning and evolving, you don't have that, then there are several support groups. And I'm trying to build a community right here where we can talk and learn and grow together. Because when I say this journey is not going to be an overnight process, because you did not just go through this for a little while. So just as long as you suffered, it might take at least half of that to heal. Accept that. Accept that this might be a never-ending journey, because once you deal with this situation, it might reveal to you all the other situations that led to this that have to be dealt with. And you might have so many other levels of trauma and mental, let's call it mental illness. Let's just call it what it is. Because most of us are suffering mental illnesses and don't even understand that it is a mental illness. Anxiety, depression, panic attacks, over-compulsive personality where you overindulge in every single thing you enjoy. You just can't get enough of it. You take it too far. All of these things, it's a mental illness that has to be addressed. And I'm not gonna lie, it's by design. I'm sorry. Proud conspiracy theorist. I feel like there are many brainwashes that have put us in the position we are today to be completely broken, to be completely negative, to be completely full of resentment and anger, to be depressed, to be stressed, to be anxious. They have all these things that they teach us and shove down our throats, all these rules and regulations, all these economic turmoils, and then you got war and gangs and violence, and then you got murderers and rapists, and then you got people worrying about this demographic versus that demographic, and politics. All of it is designed to fuck you up mentally. What's a man without his mind? You want to destroy anybody, you destroy the mind first. Cut off the head, the body will fall. Believe that. Number 3, do not begin dating right away. It's going to be tempting. You're going to be lonely. You're going to just want some attention. And let's just be real, you're going to be vulnerable. I get it. And speaking from experience, when I thought I was just going to jump off the porch and jump right back into the Keisha I was before I got married, that chick was popping and she was with the shit. And no, she is not 20 no more. And even if you are 20, honestly, you need time to heal. Otherwise, you're either going to go from one abusive relationship to another, or even if you do come across somebody who is perfect, you will sabotage it. Because if you're not healed, you're still carrying that baggage. You're still going to have triggers. It's not going to end well. Nothing is going to serve to your benefit by just jumping into another relationship. Take time to heal. And it is going to be a journey to heal. It's not even fair to ask somebody else to hang in the balance of that. And if they are awesome, tell them, I am so freaking attracted to you. Like, I can't express that enough. But if I'm being real, I am still healing. I am not in a place to offer you anything right now. Sometimes being honest, you probably just get you a little booty call, a little attention, and, go about your business. And then later on, I'm a realist, we have needs, but there's always Starship. I have a rose. Anyway, back to the subject. Don't begin dating right away. Take time to heal. Reintroduce and rediscover yourself to yourself again. Fall in love with you first. Foundationally heal and fall in love with yourself so much that you could never allow that type of situation to happen to you again. Because now we know our worth. because now we're not walking in brokenness. We're not walking around asking somebody to fill these holes that we're supposed to be fulfilling within ourselves first. It's not even fair to do that to people. And most are doing that because we don't know better. But once you know better, you do better. Heal. Foundationally, figure out all those traumas of your past that lead you to make the type of decisions you make, including the one that left you in this narcissistic, abusive relationship that you didn't deserve. Fall in love with yourself again and learn your worth. And you will never be in that position again. And the one thing about a narcissistic, abusive relationship is your abuser has gone out of his way the whole time to tear you down, to break you down, to the point you lose yourself. That's what brings most of us out of it. We look in the mirror one day and it's like, who are you? Which way did he go, George? When did I become this person? You don't recognize yourself anymore because you've made so many twists and turns in you to try to fit whatever they needed you to be. And no matter what you did, it wasn't going to be enough. And so you just kept trying to the point you lost yourself. Take back what they took from you. Take back control of you, your mind. Own it and fall in love with you again. Heal foundationally so we never go through this again. Number 4, do not focus on revenge. This one was so hard for me because I am Queen Petty. And you hurt me, I gotta hurt you 2 times as bad. In my healing journey, I realized that is something I need to work on. Still in process. Honestly, that energy needs to be going in you. And taking revenge on a narcissist is a moot point anyway. You know, they're miserable already. I don't care how happy you think they're miserable people. So trying to hurt them or break them down or get revenge won't make a difference. They don't have emotions to even care. They're just going to figure out another way to get their way and probably discard you, dismiss you. They don't care. And another thing, karma is not a bitch, she is that bitch. And what you put into the universe is always going to come back on you. So if you're putting negative out there, guess what's going to come back on you? How are we going to be walking a new path into our new purpose, into our new prosperity, if all we're doing is shooting out negative? It's not going to happen. And you're going to stay stuck in a cycle of negative nonsense for the rest of your life. It's either going to make you bitter or you're going to end up going back. Also remember, the universe is far more capable of issuing out those punishments than you are. I promise. Karma will deal with that narcissist. Believe that. But that doesn't need to be your focus. It's crazy because when you try to take revenge on them, it seems like it always backfires on you. So it's kind of proven that point. It literally always backfires. I don't know how they always seem to externally win, but trust me, they're not winning and they never will. Focus on you. Now, there's a difference if there's like legal actions in the balance of the separation, divorce, custody, or even if you had to press charges because it got physical. Hold your abuser accountable out of justice, but don't do it out of spite and bitterness. You know, for justice, yes. Spite and bitterness, no. Because again, it's the energy you're putting out there. It's going to come back on you. Justice will prevail. So if you are already in the process of handling your business and with a narcissist, if it's a legal custody case, divorce, business, everything does need to be in writing with a judge, because you can't trust a word a narcissist says. They will be your best friend and your strongest support system one day. And within 2 to 3, they don't know you. Don't depend on their word. Just move forward in justice, not bitterness and spite, and handle your business. But don't focus on revenge. Find new ways to focus that energy. When you're focusing within you, exercising or, looking into those things you were so distracted in your abusive relationship that you neglected. Hobbies or talents, skills, business ideas, books, writings, music, whatever you do, whatever your passion is, start focusing on that. Get a makeover. When you look better, you feel better. It's an instant transformation. And you start walking in that, you start walking different, talking different. You get a little sass, a little swag. I'm telling you, focus that energy somewhere else. It will far more benefit you than trying to seek revenge. Number 5, do not give them any attention. Narcissists thrive on attention, negative or positive, they don't care. As long as they know they can still get a reaction out of you. They still feel like they have power. They still have control. They have that control over the switchboard of your emotions. They could determine if they're going to ruin your day or not. Don't give them anything. Block them on social media. If you could block them, no contact altogether, do so. But I know a lot of these relationships, there's a child involved or something, businesses, so maybe you can't do that. But that's why it's going to be imperative to set those strong boundaries that you always allowed them to destroy, because you know they love crushing a boundary. That's fun for them. You're going to have to set them strong, and you're going to have to stand firm and diligent. You cannot waver, because any wavering will make them think that they're getting back in. And once they get that inch, they're going to take the mile, and it could go left if you issue a narcissistic injury by rejecting them. So to eliminate all the drama, just don't give any attention. And if you are the one that was discarded, use their silent treatment to your advantage. Because trust me, you're not going to hear from them for a little while. Okay? So by the time that they reach out, make sure that they still don't hear from you. Do not respond. And I mean, do not respond. If you can block them, block them. But if you can't, unless we're talking about my child, I'm not responding to the text. And I'm not calling or talking to you. We could speak via text, email. Keep it simple, keep it short, keep it sweet. Blocking them on social media is great strategy because they love to use that to hurt you. They want to portray that they're living this great life, or they be having like a laugh of the day, or like they're just unfazed while you're over here tortured and suffering. And they want you to contact them. They know this will cause a reaction, whether you put a comment, like or dislike, whether you text them, hopefully call, pop up, get mad, anything. They like to hurt you. So if you're blocking them on social media, you eliminate that option. Now, understand that anything that they're portraying on social media is a lie. Because if you're so happy, then you wouldn't be going out of your way to hurt me. Only hurt people hurt people. People who are in their own peace and their joy, are truly happy with life, they don't even think along those lines. They live the golden rule. They treat people how they want to be treated. Naturally. Only hurt people hurt people. So keep that in mind when you see this. If you're so happy, then why are you trying to hurt me? And that does lead me to my number 6. Understand that everything the narcissist does is an act. Even to when they introduced themselves to you and sold you the dream. It was all an act. It's all a facade. Nothing about it is real. That's why I say block them on social media, because they're going to try to use that to hurt you. None of it's real. Narcissists are incapable of being happy. So why would you believe that they're happy? Yes, they replaced you with another supply. And guess what? She's not better than you. The only thing you can guarantee about her is that she's going to suffer exactly what you just left. That's the only thing you can guarantee. I don't care how pretty she is, how much money she has. She's a supply. Whatever those things I just named, it's just a supply. And when he's done with her, I promise you, there's no point in believing that they're better off without you. You were the prize. That's why they wanted to go out of their way to destroy you before they discarded you, so that you forget that fact and nobody else picks you up. You know, they have the craziest minds, I'm telling you. Number 7, eliminate any possibilities of actually running into them or their flying monkeys. You don't want to have to talk to them. You don't want to have to see them putting on airs about how happy they are. You definitely don't want them to see you if you're not feeling your best. You just try to eliminate it. If you know there's a certain place he always goes, or is a certain restaurant she always eats at, or just try to eliminate it. Go ahead and cut off your communication with their flying monkeys, because they are not for you. I don't care how cool they try to be. If they were his friends first, or you met them through her, they are not your people. He's already got them wrapped around his finger. He only keeps people around him that are wrapped around his finger. Just cut them off. No point in us discussing. If they reach out and say, hi, I was just checking on you, just say, thank you for checking on me. I'm fine. And leave it at that. Short and sweet. And stay unfazed. If you have to interact with them, stay unfazed. No emotions. Stick to facts. Stick to the hi and bye, whatever the interaction requires. Keep it short and sweet. But don't actually engage. They start trying to catch up and tell you about what's going on. Keep it short and sweet. Because at the end of the day, they just want a way back in. And they're only coming back in to hurt you. They don't care about you. They prove to you That's why you're in this position, that they don't care about you. So stop allowing them the opportunities to keep hurting you. At this point, who are you mad at? They've already shown you who they are. You choose not to believe it. Choices. Number 8, change your responses. They've already figured you out. I told you, they control the switchboard. So from now on, if you usually snap, don't say nothing. If you usually pop off, walk away, And if you usually don't snap, then that time you do snap, switch it up, change the game. It confuses them because you have to take that power back. You have to take back your power to your emotions, to your mind, to your future and your happiness and your peace. It's your choice. Take it back. So stop giving them all the control. Switch it up if you have to interact. For the most part, I hope that you do not. Number 9, stop hoping for answers. Stop hoping for an apology. Stop hoping to understand. Let it go. Understand that you know what you need to know. That's why you're here. You know enough to know that you deserve better than this. No matter what else the answer is, no matter what else the reason may be, you deserve better than this. And if you want better, you have to do better. Stop searching for an answer you'll never get. Even if you confront them with truth and evidence, they're not going to give you truth. They will never admit that they were wrong. They will not admit to doing whatever it is you have the evidence of, because they don't feel like you deserve truth. You're not worthy of truth. You take what I give you and you shove that. Yeah, that's it. They don't care about you enough to think that you are worth at least being honest with, no matter how much you've done for them. It's not happening. Stop expecting it. It's not happening. Let it go. And move on with your life. You know enough. You know what you need to know to move on with your life. And you know this isn't it. Number 10, if you do have to interact with them, or so happen come across them, or they use the flying monkeys to intercept, do not fall for any of their guilt trip tactics. They will play it a couple of ways. Sometimes they'll act like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'll let you move on with your life so you can be happy type deal. Like you're just leaving them behind with no option and you didn't give them a chance. But I'll still support you. Or they'll hit you with the, how am I supposed to move on without you? What am I supposed to do? And some will even go so far as to threaten suicide. This is all mental and emotional manipulation and further abuse that you are already trying to get away from. Don't fall for it in the conversation. And if they do threaten something like suicide, call a hotline. Call one of their flying monkeys and let them know to go do a wellness check. You know what I mean? That's not your responsibility anymore. They didn't care enough about you and your mental health. So now you focus on you and let them focus on them like they've been doing. Number 11, do not let them make you feel like you need them. A lot of times they do supply something in your life that you depended on. I know for me, financially, I depended on my ex-husband. And when it came to the kids, and he was the one that always kept the money flowing while I just kept the world moving. I made sure everything else was taken care of. Not that I didn't work. I always had to work. I did depend on that money. So when I left the marriage, it hurt me. That really hurt me. And I didn't really have another plan. But I would prefer to struggle in peace than to suffer with all the money in the world. I will never go back to that kind of pain and torture that I endured just because you have money or you need to pay bills or whatever. It's not worth it. Trust that the universe is going to provide everything you need. And you just reconnected with your support system. They're going to make sure that you're good. You don't need them. They might threaten to take it away. Let them take it. Don't ask them for anything. Or they might use it to try to come back. Like, I know you need it. I'm good. Thank you. You keep that. Number 12, do not waste any time defending yourself, because all narcissists love to launch those campaigns against you to make you look crazy or the bad guy of the relationship, and that's why it ended. Don't defend yourself. Oh, I did what? Oh, okay. Oh, duly noted. Let that be the reason and keep it pushing. Do not defend yourself. Start walking in your truth. Start walking this journey proud with your head held high and just show them better than you can tell them. 1 and 1 will not equal 2 if you're walking a walk that doesn't match the concept he tried to sell to them. Plus, the people who are for you won't believe it anyway. So why does it matter? The flying monkeys, non-factors. Keep it pushing. So number 13, missing them is inevitable. You're going to miss them, like any breakup. But make you a list of pros and cons of the relationship. I promise you, in a narcissistic abusive relationship, the cons will be a mile longer than the pros. And keep that someplace easily accessible. Make a journal of all the evidence that you have collected over time against them, all the mean things they might have texted you or the things they've done on social media, anything that shows the behavior that led to your decision to leave, or remember that feeling when they discarded you. All of these things need to be tools that you use when you get triggered and missing them. You do not want to fall victim to your own loneliness, and your emotional reaction is to run back to them and allow the gaslight to prevail, and they get right back in and you're right back at square one. Don't let it happen. Like my final point, the hardest part is going to be forgiving yourself. The reason you're so mad at your narcissist is because you're mad at yourself. You're mad at yourself for allowing yourself to be treated that way. And sometimes you just have to get by yourself and face yourself and start reflecting to see how you got there. You're going to be angry. It's infuriating. And you feel stupid. You have to forgive yourself. Part of your journey is for a reason and a season also. So your testimony might be meant to help another. But you have to heal, or at least try to begin this healing journey to even be able to be that source of light for another. Let it go. Forgive yourself. And forgiving yourself, you'll eventually forgive him, because you'll realize that you knew who he was, yet you chose to stay. And it's kind of hard to stay mad at somebody for your choices. When it's time to just walk away. Go silent. Turn within and start focusing within. Start building back up your support system and falling in love with you again and reintroducing yourself to everybody. Start a healing journey that might change a life or two. The biggest revenge you will ever have on a narcissist is your healing and your happiness. Keeping that in mind, you'll have no choice but to remain focused on you. I hope that it makes your journey just a little bit easier if you use some of these strategies. And I hope that you join this community I'm trying to build here, where we can all share our journey and heal together, because it's a long road. And the more we open up and start revealing our truths of what happened to us, the more of us can heal and understand we're not alone in this journey. Each one teach one, each one reach one. I invite you to follow my crazy. Please like, share, and subscribe, and click that notification bell so that you don't miss any of my content.